Kevin, and Mike of the Real Deal Fishing Podcast. We're here to rock your Saturday night. I did not warn Mike about that. Mike, I'm sorry.
No clue what's going on. I was like, something went wrong with my audio. Now I'm not here. The whole screen's black. What's going on?
I did not remind Mike about that, or not remind. I just didn't tell him. And actually, I thought about it right when we went live. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. We got music now. We can do this.
I like the music. I want to hear what the people think of the music.
I like it too.
I'm excited.
I don't think a lot of people know it's there, but we do, and we like it. And we did it for the first time on the podcast with Bex from No Real Loss. And I remember I kept going, getting No Real Loss and the Real Deal Fishing Podcast messed up.
Yeah, she owns our podcast now.
She does. But that's okay. She definitely deserves it. But hey, y'all, we're here live on the channel to everyone tonight, not just members, just to give everybody a little taste of what Mike and I have been up to for the past. It's been a long time. I mean, we've been doing this for a while, haven't we?
I can't remember which month we started it in, and I lost count after like 3 because I was like, it's awesome. I was like, I've been on this 3 times, and Kevin hasn't decided. Yeah, I'm looking for somebody else for next week.
I may have thought about it, but then I didn't act on it because I was like, no, that's my bro.
I think we're lucky that we have so much to talk about, and once I started getting more comfortable, then I think that helped you get more creative, and next thing you know, we're rolling. We're having fun. So.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people coming in. Yeah, y'all, we're just so we do this every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We record our podcast, and it's only available to the members for recording purposes. Now everybody can listen to it, and some of you have, and we thank you for that on Spotify or what's the other one? The Apple one, iPodcast or whatever.
I don't know. I have Apple and I like Spotify, so I stick to Spotify.
It's easier. It's easier. But yeah, so we've been doing that, and then we just started the channel, the Real Deal Fishing Podcast channel, also where we put up the the visual with the audio recording so that everybody can watch it. But yeah, man, we're coming here. It's kind of a discouraging day, discouraging couple of weeks for me. I hadn't been able to fish, so I was like, man, let's go live and let's just have fun and give people a little taste. And Mike was obviously okay with it. Hey, John Boys, LG Bass, Half Century. What's going on, Ricky's Creations? Man, I can't wait to unpack them trophies in a few weeks so everybody can see your awesome work. Chunky said he would have fired you on the first one. Man, that guy's got it out for you.
I mean, it's up to you, but it's up to you. But I say just ban him now. Had enough.
Oh man, yeah, real time catfishing's in the house. Feels the water, sharing the podcast channel. Thank you, buddy, for doing that. Yeah. So, man, today. Well, so last week I didn't go fishing because we had 25-mile-per-hour winds. And, anybody knows anything about Lake Moultrie, it takes like 2-mile-per-hour winds to get a chop on it. So I didn't go out last weekend. Felt really good about that decision. I was like, well, I'll go next weekend. Forecast all week has been rain and wind for today. And I kept getting anxious about it, kept thinking about it. And then finally today came, woke up this morning, wasn't feeling the best. So I ate some breakfast and took a little nap, woke up, went to go fishing. Long story short, I got to the ramp, went to go back it down, and the wind was just howling. And I said, you know what? That's it. I can hear the podcast on your phone. Was that your phone? No, that was weird. Maybe it was an echo or something. I think that's what it was. But yeah. So I came home and we decided to do this. And Michael, what have you been up? Did you have a discouraging day as well?
Well, actually, I'll say no. I'd say my day
That's
went
good. That's
pretty
good.
nicely. I am really glad that I didn't mess with you and tell you no.
You're really
Uh,
glad.
I'm really glad because, sometimes I just decide to say the opposite just to have fun with it and
Mhm.
not knowing that you had such a discouraging attempt to go fishing, then I could have, blown the whole blown the whole thing. But no, woke up, had couldn't sleep, so I woke up at like 2:30 or something and was looking for Olympic hockey and then had to wait for that, and Lauren woke up. We just had a nice pleasant little start to the morning, and they went to go hang out at my mom's house and got to play with one of their cousins, and they were building a fort or something, I thought, in the living room. And who doesn't remember that? Putting
That's
some
always fun.
chairs in different places, getting a
Mhm.
blanket, tenting that up a little bit, and but when you have your cool big cousin actually helping you out and showing you how to do it,
Oh yeah.
that was pretty
Well,
neat.
that's the pro. I mean, the older sibling or the older family member has the knowledge and the capability that you haven't quite got there yet.
Yep.
But yeah, man. I was discouraged, and so I came home and well, there you go. Thanks for showing some love, Dominic Hollis. $5. Boom, 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 as Bex would say. He said, just wanted to show some love. Appreciate that. Hey, Mr. Gadget. So yeah, I thought this was a fishing podcast. We're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, I am feeling okay because next weekend it's supposed to be 60 degrees and calm winds. So hopefully I can capitalize on next weekend and make an awesome video for everybody. But yeah, Lake Moultrie and even the surrounding waters, when the wind's howling, it's just there's no place to get away from it. It owns you and it puts you in your place. Horde. But we appreciate everybody coming in. If you like what you're hearing right now or seeing, give us a thumbs up. Um, if you want to come on tonight and just talk with us about fishing, just put in the chat, send me the link, and if I'm friends with you on Facebook or I got your email, I'll send it to you. As long as we kind of know who you are and we think you might be interesting, we'll bring you up. But Mike, you know, Catfish Conference is getting closer and closer, and obviously the Golden Whistles are going to be there. We got some new stickers to give out. Check that out, y'all. The Real Deal Fishing Podcast holograph stickers. Thank you to Trish, Mike's sister. That's one of them, and here's the big one. Obviously, all the Boom Squad members will get one, and we'll start giving those out to the Boom Squad at the Catfish Conference. Whoever's not there will mail one. But yeah, we got some stickers, man. Uh, I keep adding to my list of things that I want to get. Have you
Oh,
gone through that, or do you already know what you're getting and you're like going to beeline for it?
you mean purchases at the
Purchase, yeah.
CatCon?
Purchase. Yes.
Well, I definitely want some of that dark water bait,
Mhm.
and I'm betting that they sell out. Whatever they take, I bet is probably all going to go. Everybody has
Yeah.
to know about that by now,
Yeah.
and those who don't will stumble upon it and they'll be like, "Whoa, this is a
Mhm.
good deal, and this is a really good idea."
Well, and that
Beyond
was
that,
part of why I wanted to go today. I wanted to make a video on it. I had it in the cooler ready to go.
oh
Oh, well.
man, now
Anyway,
I'm feeling that
continue.
disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, man. I had high hopes for a video. I was gonna use that and then do a catch and cook. Mm. Anyway,
Wow,
go for
double
it. Go for it.
whammy.
Avid says you deserve a raise.
Oh, well, thank you, Avid. Maybe we should send that man a link and get him up here so he can sing more of my praises. But
What's dark water bait, Mike?
oh, Dark Water Bait is I believe that is the name of their company, isn't it?
It's dark water premium baits. Yep.
Dark Water Premium Baits. We saw them. We heard of them prior to the CatCon Kansas City, and Steve Douglas did a video
Mhm.
fishing with their bait. I don't know that it's all Asian carp.
It
What I
is.
saw, I really thought that there was some scales on there that made me think that maybe
Oh,
it was
really?
a little bit different in one of the packages, but I could have been wrong. It could have been the lighting that I saw, but it's
Mhm.
prepackaged bait. I want to say it's somewhere like 2 or 3 pounds per package, and they were like $8 or $9 for a package. Is that how much you think they weigh, Kevin, or did
No,
I
no,
overestimate the weight?
way over.
Really?
Yeah, it ends up being pretty expensive per pound, but, if you're not using giant baits, it's gonna last you and
Oh,
it's worth it.
okay.
So, the ones I got are all Asian carp, and they have, garlic infused Asian carp in the slabs and in the chunks, and I'll run out and get one in just a second. But, then they have the red garlic infused Asian carp, and then they have in the slabs, and then they have the chunks as well, and then they just have the regular Asian carp. So Mr. Gadget said they're 18 ounces on average.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so,
They're about
I
eight
guess it
eight
is more
bucks.
per pound than what I thought, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looked beautiful. It was
Mhm.
packaged up real
I'll
nicely.
run out and get one.
They say that you don't have to refrigerate it, that it'll keep for months and months and months in the package. Um, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical about that, but I also probably wouldn't do that. I probably would still keep mine in the fridge with anything else. That being said, the price is great. It's always good to have some kind of an option. You never know. You show up, you throw your cast net out there, and sometimes you just don't get as much bait as you do on other times. So it's always good to have that on
Mhm.
hand in case you need to use it. And like Kevin said, it's up to you how big a chunk you want to use.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't I see people use, big hunks of bait, and for me, I don't need that. So this could go a long, long way for me.
So yeah, this is just the Asian carp, and you can see there's 3 slabs in there. And Mike's right. You don't have to refrigerate it, and especially now in the winter, I just have it out in the garage, and you know, I might put it in the refrigerator once I open the pack. But they're vacuum sealed to an extent. This one isn't as great of a seal, maybe because it's been tossed around a bunch. But that's a big slab right there of the Asian carp. This is the garlic infused. I've already taken the tag off of this one so you can see it's got a zipper pouch there, so you can zip it back up. That's the garlic infused, and they have different ones, but this is the chunk. This is the red garlic chunk.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Yeah. So especially if you're, you know, I don't know. I call it country club fisherman like me. I want everything to be as easy as possible and ready to go. This is already chunked for you. You don't even have to cut it. And it's not
Right.
really big baits, so that would work for channel cats and blue cats and flatheads, and it'll work for everything. It's not a donkey bait, but if you want the donkey bait, just put one of them hole suckers on there. But I don't know, Mike. We talked about this on one of our podcasts. I don't know if it's going to work in my water. So I just bought one of each to sample it, and then if we get there, then my dog is smelling my hand now. When we get there, then we can stock up on it. So they don't have Skippy. It's just Asian carp. And hello, Big Mike. So yeah, that's one thing you and I have talked about that we want. Uh, what else are you looking at?
I was given a task this week. I've been assigned a mission by the Mexicat. Last season, he broke a rod and he's looking to replace it. It's a
Mm.
catfish rod. So he ordered himself one rod and he ordered himself another different rod. I think he got that the bass the Mojo Bass one to throw lures and such. So I've been assigned the mission of getting him one more catfish rod. So I really got to think it through, and I know what he has said that he's interested in looking at, and I have held those rods I held those rods in Kansas City, and they were lovely. So since I'll be going to Kentucky at the end of the month, he just figured why waste money on shipping and just
Let's get Mike to do
assign
it.
me the task. So,
I like this. I like this comment. I wonder if we all get and order a huge, large amount. So that's the only thing. They're not selling it direct yet. Dark water premium baits. I had to call Macy's Fins and Fish and Finds. Fish and Finds. Fins and Finds is a YouTube channel. So and they're in Macy's is an old school type bait shop. Like you have to call them to place your order and give them your number over the phone. But the shipping was very fast, very fast. I got it in a heartbeat. So I don't think we can get a deal. The best deal you're gonna get on dark water premium baits is at CatCon. Because you're not gonna have to pay that shipping. Thank you to Hookers Catfishing for the $1.99 super sticker. Appreciate it. All right, so you got that rod there. Will Mexicat be fishing any 70-foot holes? Well, we have to wait till Mexicat comes in here.
yeah, I don't know.
Is it true you can refresh Asian carp with garlic? We don't have Asian carp here, so I wouldn't know.
There's none super close to me either, so I wouldn't know.
There's a lot of Kentucky people in here, though, and Ohio people, so I know they can answer that question. And I see you chose the Mexicat mug today.
Well, I figure I'd honor him, and
Yeah.
I think he cracked my rib, or put a rib out of place, releasing that video late and
Goodness
giving me the
gracious.
laugh that he did that late at night. I don't know. We also had quite a week of back orders at work. We order in our product, and just so everybody knows, it comes from various different countries. We order in our product in ocean containers. They're 20-foot long. They're about, I don't know, they're about like 8 foot wide and 8 foot tall. We average like 24 pallets per container. So we got 25 of them in this week, and all but 3 pallets were on back order. So it's like 620 pallets of back order. So needless to say, we're not through all of it yet, but it was a long week, and it's going to be a long beginning of the week next week too.
I
So
feel like all these weeks leading up to CatCon and any vacation for that matter are long weeks. There's just, whenever you're anticipating something, you're just like, oh my gosh, I just want to be out of here.
have you packed the bag yet?
No, I haven't.
See, I haven't either, but I thought about it. So.
Look, man, I've been trying to screen record content for the Golden Whiskers. And let me tell you, unlike last year where we had a lot of video entries, we have a lot of live stream entries. And I've been having to scrub through so many live streams just to get particular clips out. It's driving me nuts. So I'm trying to get that done. Now, once I have the clips, making the videos takes me probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes a piece. So once I get that in there, it's just we'll get moving on it, and then I can pack my bag. Mr. Gadget said I ordered mine from Bluff City Tackle. Okay, I didn't know they had it. They screwed up my order and didn't need the chunk read. They still haven't responded to me about it. That might be a problem. Yeah, Anna's had a long week too. She needs a vacation. It's never a long week when you're unemployed. Yeah. Those weeks go by pretty quick. But yeah, so you said the rod, you said the dark water bait. I just added, I need some monofilament, and I went to go order it, and I was like, let me wait till CatCon. So I need some monofilament. if these dark water baits work, which I should be able to try them out next weekend, then I'll definitely want some of those. Um, I've been thinking about those cat and carp rods. So I hope that Tackle Bandit has one there. I think that's probably the only rod I would even think about getting is a cat and carp rod. You have two of them. You like them? Or you have one,
Well,
right?
since Kristen's asleep, I actually have 7 of them now. I think
Jeez.
May 5 or 7, somewhere in between there. Um,
Holy moly.
you got to watch Whisker Seeker because every now and then they do a deal where if you spend $100, you get a $25 gift card, and so I would love to know, and I'm almost considering calling the office to see if I actually was their number one,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Blow customer, because I went back in my account online and I totaled it all up, and
Mm.
I could have bought a boat. So I don't need any tackle. I truthfully don't need any rods other than the one for the Mexicat, but that does not mean that I probably won't return with at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always stuff to look at.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to Kansas City,
Goodness
I
gracious.
told
My
my
dog has some
sister,
gas.
"Yeah,
Whew, that's twice.
fire back, man, fire at will."
It's making my eyes water.
Yeah. The
Uh,
When we went to CatCon, I almost forgot that my sister Trish wanted a rod. So then I
mhm,
went around looking for one, and you would have thought, talking to me, that I would have gone and got her a whisker seeker. Excuse me, a whisker seeker or
mhm,
a Rippin' Lips, and I ended up getting her a warrior cat.
mm,
So you go around, you check them out. Sometimes things aren't what you thought that they were. You look them over and get to talk to the nice people who run those companies and show up
mhm,
there, and next thing you know, here you are walking off with a different product that you didn't think you were going to get. And I got to tell you,
mhm,
I loved it. Those guys were awesome. A great
mhm,
talk about how they design and test their rods, and what the point of them are, and what they're trying to focus on, what their target
mhm.
is with the design, and real cool guys. I just wish that they would have had more than one spinning model, but they happened to not bring, everything with them. I'm sure they traveled quite a distance, so understandable.
Mhm. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure there's some little nick. Oh, I do. Chunky went live earlier, and I want some triple threat hooks. I do want to try
Yeah,
those. I've been meaning to try those, but I just can't. I can't justify spending, you know, money on hooks and then spending more for the shipping to get the hooks. So
yeah. How
um,
many you want? What size you want?
the biggest ones I got, the 8 ounce.
Oh, oh, they're nice. And trust
Yeah.
me, I don't need the biggest ones, so I'll share the ones that I got with you because
Well,
I
cool.
bought some things, and oh
You
yeah,
might check that off my list when I get there.
oh yeah. I think you'll like them too. That triple thread is an interesting design.
So what
Very,
makes it a
very.
triple threat? I mean, obviously you can it's like a J and a circle, but what's the third thing?
I really don't even know, but how about I go get one and then I'll show you.
Maybe
You
it's
gotta see
maybe
it.
it's
Maybe you'll
maybe it's
understand.
offset.
Maybe you'll understand, and I don't.
Maybe it's offset. Mr. Gadget said they have a 12 and a 14. Holy moly. Triple threat. Yeah. So yeah, y'all, if you're just coming in, thanks for coming in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, share it out if you don't mind. Mike and I are just kind of we do this every once in a while with the podcast just to go live on the channel, get more people aware about it. We do record a podcast live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we record that just for our that's just for our my members. So if you're interested in being a Boom Squad member, you can find the link in the description. And if you're on an iPhone, there's another link below it that'll teach you how to join on an iPhone because for some reason iPhones don't let you see the join button. And you either have to do it on a computer or you have to go through the desktop version on your phone. I've had some people email me or message me and say, "Hey, I want to be on the Boom Squad, but I don't know how. I don't see the button." And I tell them to do a computer, and they don't have one. So I finally put a link up there to somebody else's video that shows you how to do that. And maybe if you want to join somebody else's channel and you hadn't been able to, this will help you do that. So thank you so much. All right, let's see this hook here.
I'm trying to see how I can
Put your hand behind it. There you go.
So you're right. See
It's
how
offset.
it's offset. But this thing, it's like if I'm holding it straight up and down, you can see that nice bend back, and then it bent. Now, what I find nice about their hooks is that they're almost like real squared off on the edges.
Right.
So every time that I hook myself, I'm always worried because I really think that it may go through and really no against the white, not a good idea.
No, that works.
But yeah, I think these are 10s, and I look at them, I'm like, good Lord, I'm never going to use a hunk of bait that big. Well, maybe I will, but if I kept 2 or 3 of them and gave you a dozen of them,
Well, if
it wouldn't
that's
me
the
at all.
8, I mean, that's plenty big. Gadget said they have 12s and 14s.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I'm using the Mustad hook right now, the Mustad Demon Circle hook, and I
Mm-mm.
love it. I love the hook. But it's a 10-aught, and even the 10-aught's kind of small. So if I'm using like a bigger bait, I have to hook it shallow so that I get plenty of hook points. So I'd like to have an option for something for something a little bigger. Avid's helping out, man. Look at that.
So I have the
Thanks,
8.
Avid.
I have the 8 in my. Oh, I'm moving too much. Sorry, I apologize. I have the 8 right here, so you can see,
That's
compared to my watch right here.
what is that one?
This is the 8,
Oh, okay.
and this is the 10, the Big
Oh
Daddy.
yeah.
It could
Yeah, I like
consume it.
10. Yeah.
But yeah, the 8 is probably bigger than any hook I've ever used in my life. But then
Mm.
again, I am pretty much targeting
Yeah.
channel
Channel cat.
cat,
Yep.
10-ish pound range, give or take, so but yeah, we'll give you some samples.
Yeah, I want to try that. And somebody asked, let's see, who was it? Sean. So you should be able to set the hook. Yeah. And that's kind of what Chunky was talking about earlier tonight. He'll be able to set the hook with those and not pull it out of their mouth. In
Yeah,
theory. In theory, that's what that hook's
he's
for.
gonna swing at anything, that guy. He's crazy. Let me see here. You got the triple threat on the top there,
That's
and
a
then
J hook on the bottom.
you can see their 10-aught J. What do you think of that? Do you use J hooks at all?
I don't. I use
No.
J hooks for panfish. That's about it.
Yeah. I really like it though.
That's an
As
interesting comment.
you can
Mhm.
see right there on their J hook how the eyelet there on the top
Mhm.
is at that
That's the
angle. I
only
really
thing
like.
I don't care for, and I don't care for the bent eyelet. I don't care for that
Mhm.
too much. Chris from El Gato Azul TV said, "I lost way too many big fish with the triple threat." That's interesting. So that's something to think about too. That's why I want to try it. And
Now,
I think,
I'm not gonna argue with anybody, and I'm not going to act like I know
uh-oh,
anything. What's up,
who's
Warren?
that back there?
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I know a whole lot about the hooks,
Uh-huh.
but here's what I'll say about my own experience last year, where I pretty much stopped trying to catch carp and just tried to catch catfish. I really think that the way that you snell your hook, the knot that you use on the hook makes a big difference. because I got tired of doing a true snell knot. And well, I guess it's not a knot. I got tired of snelling the hook,
Mm-hmm.
and I started doing Palomars. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, my hookup ratio was nowhere near the same. And I'm like, uh-oh, I did this to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just me. That's just me against some channel cat. So, I definitely took more time to research more knots and try to figure out this way, that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it did help me a lot. So, and it's
Yeah.
fun. Let's face it, we're here to learn, we're here to have some fun. We're
Mhm.
here to try to have a good time. And catching fish is a good time. Learning new knots is a good time. And I really feel in the middle there, I got lazy. And maybe it's because of that that top of the hook is different, because I also started using different hooks. So maybe it just so happened that I put two together and it wasn't the greatest idea for me.
Well, and that bent eye, I think you can get away with a polymer or a fisherman's knot because it's bent and it's going to turn that hook down. With the straight shaft, if you get that snell turns it for you. So, I think that's why I really don't like the bent hook too much, because I tie the snell. So I'm wondering if you
Mhm.
can get too much trigger action in it.
Yeah.
Started crimping my hooks. No knot involved. Oh yeah, we saw that. Alex Nagy from Rippin' Lips does that.
Yeah, that looked really neat.
Heard nothing but good things about Daiichi. Yeah, you can get Daiichi in Walmart too. That's another good thing. You can get Daiichis in Walmart, and I think that's what Chris Souders uses is Daiichi, and I know uh, Muddy River Catfish and Chris Flores uses Daiichi too.
I thought Mike
I
Chavez
th-
used them too.
he might. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think, and I'm still at that new stage. I've only been doing this for 2 years, and I'm still finding. The hook that I really liked that um, that I'm devastated is gone is the 9/0 tackling cats circle hook. I used that thing. Hagen Grubb started using it, and then I was like, man, that hook looks so good, man. Like it had a nice circle in it, nice gap, big for big baits, and Catfish was selling them. So I bought them from Catfish, and then all of a sudden, they went out of stock, and then all of a sudden, nobody had them, and then the company shut down. I'm like, oh man, like that was my hook. That's the one I wanted to use. So I started looking around, and a lot of the guys that catch bigger fish that I watch on YouTube, they use that Mustad Demon circle hook.
Yeah.
I just wish I could find one like a circle hook um, in like a 12/0 or something like that because it doesn't have as much gap that I'd like to be
Yeah.
that I'd like it to have.
I agree.
Yeah, no circle hooks in Walmart's up north. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Wonder why that is. Let's see. There's Catfish catching them fish. And later on, y'all, we're gonna give away a pack of Santee drifters and maybe some stickers. So thanks for hanging out. We don't really have a time schedule for tonight. There's no scheduled shows on after, you know, 9, 10 o'clock. So we're just gonna go until it gets boring. Let's see here. Let's see. Whisker Stripes like the D85 Daiichi as well. The Mustad Demon Circles and Whisker Seeker triple threats are close second and third. Well, that's good to know. That's going to know. Fishing, I go to Bluff City Tackle for your hooks. Nice. Yeah, the one hook that I'm just not sold on, and I've had. Hey, Miss Lauren, how are you?
I just snuck down here like 10
I
minutes
saw you.
ago.
I saw you sneak out of
My
bed.
mom actually letting me come down here since
You
I don't
sneaky
have
little
school.
catfish.
See, it's kind of strange when we're on live. If you move the wrong way, then you're all of a sudden you're off the screen. I struggle to figure out which way is the right way too.
There
Yes,
you go.
there you
That'll
go.
help you.
Do you want to interview Kevin since you woke up? No? Okay.
I was already awake.
Yeah. Do you want to? You sure you don't want to interview him? Do you think that there's anybody else that you'd want to interview? Because we'll send them a link if you want to interview them. They all watch your interviews, so they're ready if you want.
My mind is gonna tell me.
Yeah.
Your mind is gonna tell you. The bent eye gives the pull the same direction as the shank, and the whole premise of the circle hook is that it'll set itself. Yes, I agree. Let's see. Bobcat's in here. I use Mustad Demon Perfect hooks. They're not hooking up right now. And I'm trying J hooks tomorrow. J hooks, okay.
Oh, he's not in there.
I've sunk some of these Lucky 13 Nocturnal Nation. I like Nocturnal Nation. They're just, I don't know. They're so expensive. And that's another thing. That's another reason. That's another reason that I don't really I don't have a lot of the Whisker Seeker hooks. It's because they're just so expensive. The Mustad ones I can get 25 for like $15. So that is another thing.
I in the past I got sucked into you can get 100 hooks for $16 or $17 on eBay, and I'm like, well, hey, there I go. I get snagged up. I got 100 hooks, this and that. But then you look at these companies that are so catfish specific. And you use that hook and you're like, yeah, there is a big difference. Now, that being said, still, I would really like to spend 50 cents a hook, let's say. 50, 60 cents a hook. And just to try not to go crazy. But then again, you guys that catch those or have a chance to catch those bigger fish and really need those 12-aught or 13-aught hooks, there's a lot more metal there. So I understand the expense is going to go up for you.
Well, it's not so much about the fish. I just want to make that clear. You can catch a big fish on a small hook. It's the bait.
Yeah.
I want a big hook to hook a big bait, so that I can attract a bigger fish. But yeah, Realville, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I actually won a pack of Nocturnal Nation hooks from Catfish Weekly a long time ago, and they had that rubber coating on the shank, and I thought that was pretty cool. So your knots don't slip. And I liked them. I liked them a lot. I didn't know much about hooks at that time, but I just went on to order them again, and it's just like, wow, they're just expensive, and I guess you do pay what you get what you pay for. I guess that's the saying, right? But yeah, I just that's the kind of why I went the way I went. The only hook that I've kind of stay away from, and I know I'm going to offend a lot of people, but it's just me. It's just Kevin that doesn't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm putting it right out there now. I'll put a disclaimer across the bottom of the screen. Kevin knows Jack. But I don't care for the Gamakatsu style hook. And I say Gamakatsu style because you got Gamakatsu, and then you got people that rebrand Gamakatsu as something else. And I just don't care for them. I don't like the circle action in them. I don't like the octopus hooks. I've had a 5-aught Gamakatsu hook break on me in the mouth of a fish. Now, whether that was my fault or not, I don't know. Maybe it was a nick by a plier, but as every fisherman knows, once you lose faith in something, it's hard for you to use it again. Do you agree with that, Mike? Or is it just like something like you're too analytical for it and you know that was just an oddity?
I would say for myself, absolutely, you're right. I'm too analytical, and I would recognize that as just being a complete oddity. But I do very much enjoy watching other people try something, then get away from it, then go back and try it again, and then swear off of it again. And
Mhm.
if you happen to notice today in his live stream, I'm pretty sure that Chunky said that he's not going to go back and try a straight Carolina rig anymore because he tried it and it was part of his skunk streak that he was on, which honestly, that has nothing to do with anything
Mm-mm.
of him being on a tough streak. He loves the rattles. He loves the spooks. He loves the beads. He loves all that stuff. So I just think that he's choosing to go away from a Carolina rig when all of us know that the Carolina rig has probably caught more fish than any other one ever will, and
Yeah.
that not just catfish,
Mhm.
use them for any kind of fish like that. But anyway, uh,
Mhm.
you said you were going to offend some people. I just did too, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's sales. By all means, sell as many
I
chubs or
don't think
spooks, whatever you want to call, and rattles and beads and all that stuff.
I don't think people are going to use what they use, and I don't think a little show like this is going to hurt any company, especially Gamakatsu.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna sell hooks because they're cheap. They're inexpensive and they're readily available. And that's one of those that Gamakatsu style. That's one of those you can go on Amazon and you can buy 1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's Cat says I offend people.
There he is.
Yeah, so and then there you go. You got some people we use gamma for commercial fishing, never had a problem. Well, there you go. Let's see. Get Chunky was using a boat rig made for current and river from land, not so much current. Could be, could
Could
be.
be. Yeah.
hmm But yeah, I. So something that I've yeah, let's see. We've all our personal preferences. I'm always looking to improve. There you go. And that's all it's about. It's about just you know, finding what you have. I think it's all about confidence. And unless you catch big fish after big fish after, and there are some of you that do, big fish after big fish after big fish every single time you go out, then you really don't have that fast testing model. You know, people like me who will catch average, to small fish every time, and then every once in a while tag a pig. You know, I'm not having to use that test that theory on big fish all the time. So, my experience and the fact that I've only been using it for 2 years means that I don't have the experience necessary to give anybody any specifics. I'm just telling you, in my current walk in catfishing right now, this is what I've found. In for the majority of us who fish, majority of people who might fish once or twice a month, you know, hook selection doesn't matter as much. But for somebody who fishes every weekend or once or twice a week or even more, some people do, then that hook, that confidence in that hook and that line and that rattle and everything you use is paramount. It means so much. If they have teeth marks on them, I don't trust them. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When people bend them, yeah, I use what works. There you go. Never had any hook completely fail me, but I've had points bend and certain brands that don't stay sharp for long. Yep. Same here. Yep. Same. Hey, Susquehanna Stan, how you doing? Let's
We
see.
used to use lots of treble hooks when we were carp fishing. We'd put dough ball on there, and it was so much thinner, and we used such a small hook. I think we used like a size 8 or something. It was real teeny tiny little hook. So lots of those would get bent or they would get broken off. One of the trebles would break off. Until finally, I just decided, nope, I'm just going to go bigger and use a stronger hook and
Mhm.
hopefully get one good hook into them there and go from there. But I did have one circle hook break on me and it happened to be a mustad hook, but I also was fairly certain that I saw a flathead in that area. And thinking back on it and knowing what I know now, it was probably in the I would say it would probably be somewhere 25 pounds or up if I did see what I felt I saw. But I know this much, I hooked it and it broke my hook after a very, very short battle, which I didn't understand because I'm like, I'm only using, 12-pound fishing line here. I was like, shouldn't the line break before a piece of metal breaks? But there I was holding half a hook. So
Yeah, that
it
was the
happened.
worst feeling. That was the worst feeling I've ever had right there. I had probably a 20-pound fish, and it's in a video, and the hook just snapped in half. And I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe that. I've heard of hooks, breaking off, but I thought, maybe they were doing something wrong, and maybe I was doing something wrong. But yeah, I think maybe it had I'd taken out with pliers, and they're so thin that maybe I did something to it. But just that, that it's in my mind, like that hook breaks, that hook's gonna break. Um, I like what I'm gonna go back to what Chris said earlier, and this is kind of what I was trying to explain. The problems don't tend to rear their ugly head until you hooked up with a true monster. So,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I was trying to get to. Um, monsters are relative, but he's probably talking like something over 50, 60 pounds. That's when your equipment is probably going to fail if it's going to fail.
Well, back when I broke that hook, that was back when I was probably using maybe 2-aught or 3-aught mustad circle hooks. And I don't know that it was a thicker gauge. It might have been one of the fine ones.
Mhm.
I can't remember. I don't think that it was a fine hook. But either way, a 2-aught or a 3-aught hook, it's not all that big
Mm-mm.
and it's not all that thick. So I always say it as I feel it. I felt that my equipment was outclassed. I was defeated.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
it was fun for the
Mhm.
short while that it lasted and feeling that power. When you're hooked onto a fish and for a split second your mind literally says, I think this thing could break this rod. That's fun. Whether you
I
catch it or not,
wish.
whether you got it or not, and I've had that feeling several times, handful, maybe 4 or 5 times. That was one of them right there. I was like, I think this fish could break this rod. Well, it broke the hook.
That's the rules.
Yep.
Oh man, no, I've not been in that situation catfishing.
Really?
Now I have hooked. No, not where I thought the rod was going to break. Um, I never thought my hook was going to break. But I've gadgets talking about using pliers on hooks. I have to use pliers on the hook from some time to time. But I always, since that hook broke, when I take the hook out, I check
Hello,
the hook
Fishy.
for those teeth marks or scratches or anything. If it has a scratch,
You'll have to go
I
upstairs and go back
change it
and
out.
get
I change it out.
because
Yeah, they're definitely quality. Man, we went down a rabbit hole with hooks, didn't we? Oh man, thanks for everybody being in here again. This is our normal deal on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. We record a podcast, and our Boom Squad members can watch live. So if that's something you're interested in, check out the links in the description to join the Boom Squad. We appreciate everybody being here. We appreciate the super chats that we got. That's awesome. That always helps out with everything. So, now that we're kind of off of hooks a little bit, let's talk about hero worship.
hero worship.
Hero
There's an
worship.
interesting topic.
Now let's get things straight. You know, I don't want to take anything away from God. That's he's number one. He's number one. We're just talking about fishing heroes. So, who is your fishing hero, or who? Well, I'll start first since you're kind of talking to Lauren there.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, okay. Who is like your fishing hero? Someone that you. It could be somebody on YouTube, could be somebody you grew up with, or maybe it's someone now that's really impressing you.
Well, I always go straight back to Jimmy Houston. There is
Jimmy Houston.
absolutely no question that, or no doubt in my mind that when we were kids, and I'd said it before, I always felt like they really didn't want us to go fishing because we took up their time and we needed to be watched over and we needed to be taught. And usually they'd set you right there and they'd tell you, here, fish here, and next thing you know, they're like 50 feet down the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kept going. Um, and I will say that of everybody with the exception of Tone, my aunt. But
Mm-hmm.
we didn't get to go fishing all the time. So I'd be watching fishing shows. And Jimmy was always, high spirited, had that hilarious laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and he would fish for more than just bass. And back then, it was really the three legends that you could watch on TV: Roland, Martin, and I never really gravitated towards him because he kind of exaggerated everything. And when the fish looked like it
He
was 5
does.
pounds, he'd tell you that it was 12 plus or whatever. And
That's
then you
if I
had
had to explain him, that's what I would say too.
you know, then you had Bill Dance, and I thought he
Mhm.
was awesome, but I was never a Tennessee Volunteer fan necessarily, and, uh, you know, uh, but he would fish for catfish every now and then, and he would have a heck of a good time doing it, and who doesn't love Bill Dance bloopers? But
Mm.
then you got Jimmy, and Jimmy would go fish for peacock bass, and he would fish for bass, and he'd fish for crappies and bluegill and everything and catfish. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, man, this guy just does everything. And I'll be honest, I think that he had the best song, the best theme song for his show. So that was kind of catchy too. And so I always gravitated towards him. As you move along and everybody I noticed is putting answers in there, grandpas, dads, I'm
Mhm.
sure other people, it's, brothers, aunts, uncles, friends, everything like that. I'll be honest, I didn't really look at my other family members like I want to fish like them, I want to do things
Mhm.
like them. I've been trying to figure it out on my own, and for a while it just took so much time just to learn what they had tried to show us,
Mhm.
and then learn to be patient and then try to understand more what you're doing so then you actually do have a better chance of catching fish. Then it's about location, timing, everything. And I'll be honest, I don't think that I don't think that that's always the same for us. And by that I mean we would go to places that are convenient. And sometimes we would go to the places that were convenient just because there were so many of us. I remember as a little kid, we might have like 16 to 25 people up the bank.
That's so awesome.
You have to have a very big bank to do that. So then it's not about this is the best spot. It's about this is the best spot where all of us can fish.
Mhm.
So that changes everything. And you watch these videos now, and you heard Lauren earlier. She said she wanted you to send Spencer a link so she could talk to him. There's some hero worship for you. But
It's past Spencer's bedtime.
yeah, yeah. Um, the places that people like he go, or Thai Pig Patrol or anybody. I mean, sometimes you look at them, you're just like, how on earth did they find that spot?
Right.
And it doesn't look like anything that I would look for. And next thing you know, they're catching a 40 or 50-pound fish out of there. And it didn't even look like there was enough water for that there.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I think that I thought that I knew maybe isn't all true, but there's reasons for it.
That's
So,
deep.
even now, we went fishing a couple years ago, and we went over to where the state record grass carp was caught. And as soon as we pulled up to the lake, we're like, that's it. And I can see why grass carp were in there, because it was just overrun with green stuff. I call it lettuce. It was overrun with lettuce all over. So those carp would just sit there and eat it all down and everything. So that makes sense. And then we're like, well, forget this. Let's go. Dad caught one catfish. And it's like, well, let's just go back to the reservoir, and there's plenty of space there, and we could all fish there. And when we got back into town, so we drove an hour and a half away, fished for a couple hours, caught one fish between all of us. Then we drove back. There was like 4 or 5 vehicles, maybe 4 vehicles. So then we came back and fished the same spot that we always do. But in that next 2.5 hours, we caught over 140 fish between
Jeez.
all of us. In 2.5 hours, I caught 22 fish. And I left not just because of the timing of the day, but also because my arms hurt. I'm like, I'm done. I was like, what a good couple hours. But the whole morning driving back and forth was seemingly a wasted time. And ever since then, since you said analytical, I wrote that down, and I fish like gangbusters that same week, year over year. And it hasn't been like that. But it's not because I haven't been trying, but it's because all the other factors probably aren't in place.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to learn more. I need to learn more about what affects that, and think less about that exact location. And that being said, too, sometimes you do need the convenience. I mean, I detest laziness, but sometimes if all you got is 2 hours,
Yeah.
go to some place that give it a shot, see what you can do. You don't
Yeah,
have
and we were talking about hero worship, but you went down a whole bunch of awesome points. You see how deep Mike gets? You can't just ask Mike one question. You ask Mike one question and you get 7 answers. But I like it though. I love it because I love the convenience thing. And I think you see a lot of that in the live fishing channels, It's like we would rather go to another spot or this spot or whatever, but we know for a fact we're going to get that. And we're going to get that, not only that convenience of knowing that we can get a signal there, but that there might be a fish there because I've fished there for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and until, the towers get like amazingly better, which, they're pretty good right now. We're gonna keep going back to those same spots. So I like that. I like that a lot. 22 fish in 2 hours or half an hour. That's not bad.
Yep. It was a good time. It was a real good time. That's when I have a third rod allowance, and
Mhm.
I ended up fishing with 2 rods just because I couldn't keep up with anything more. I kept having to ask other people to come over and help me out because I don't have enough arms.
Mhm.
But we all got
Today
lucky.
I tried to get to go to a new spot. I was gonna go live today, and the anxiety got to me. Actually, the wind got to me. I couldn't really put it in, but I wanted to go to that new spot. And when I got there, I will say from the ramp, I had all 5 bars. All 5 bars. But yeah, so hero worship, I like all the the answers about the uncles and the family and everything. And I look up to my dad a lot as an angler, and he's taught me everything he knows. And still, when we go shellcracker fishing, man, I swear that guy has like shellcracker radar, like on the back of his neck. Like he can pull up in a creek and go and just go straight to him. You smell them? You see them bubbles over there? You see that cloud over there? And we'll go just trolling through, and he'll just say, "Throw there, throw there." And I'm like, there can't be a fish there. Like, I mean, it's 2 foot deep. It's probably 4 foot deep. I can't see the bottom. There's probably grass everywhere. And he'll throw in there and pull out a 1 pound shell cracker. I'm like, what? I throw in there and we'll just sit there and catch them all day. And I would have never fished there before. You know, that's what I look. He's got that intuition. He's got that second sense, or that what's that sixth sense about where those shell cracker are. So yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Definitely for pan fishing, my dad is number one and always be number one. And that's my number one fishing partner, other than Miss Lakin in there. Sorry, hang on a second.
I'm wondering
Thank
why
you.
you believe that the shell cracker radar is located on the back of his neck.
Well, because when you feel something ominous coming, you usually get the hairs on the back of your neck standing up.
Okay, like a spidey sense.
Yeah.
That was detailed there. So you've thought about this a lot.
I had to get that one out. Woo!
Kevin's got to cough it out. Yeah, I'm getting down to the bottom of my cup of coffee here too. Usually I have a 32-ounce tea sitting here in case I kill off the coffee, but today it's just the coffee.
Yeah, I'm almost done with my cup. Check out this cup. Have I ever showed you this?
That's awesome.
Chris Flores made me that. Isn't that cool?
That's way cool.
Such a nice dude. Yeah. So as far as YouTube, I think of, since we're doing YouTube, I'm thinking of kind of like hero worship on the YouTube side. And, I definitely look up Steve and Chris Souders and all those guys. But you know who I want to be like? Richard Gene, the fishing machine. That man, I swear he could take a beetle off a leaf and throw it in the water and catch a 60-pound catfish. But he's just, he's kind of weird, but we're all kind of weird. But you watch his videos and he just makes it look so effortless. And I was watching, he did a crappie video the other day, and he'll throw in and catch one on film, and then he'll put it in his cooler. And what he didn't show you was the 20 other crappie that he already caught. I'm like, man, this man is so good that he doesn't even film all of his fish. Like, when I try to film fish, I'm not going to get every one I can packed in there, and I'll just shorten the fight scene if I need to.
Yeah.
But he's so confident and so specific about what he's doing, and he knows exactly what's going on, that he doesn't need all that fluff. And so that's kind of who I'm looking up to right now. And the people I look up to vary based on what I'm into. And I try not to put too much faith into human beings because we're all flawed. But definitely on YouTube, the guys I mentioned, the guys that have been around for a while and know what they're doing. But Richard Gene, man, I mean, he just, I don't know. Have you ever watched any of his videos?
I believe that I've watched one, but I don't, sometimes you either lose your subscription or the bell gets turned off or whatever. I can't remember the last time that I'd watched one, but now I'll go watch it. I definitely take your suggestions seriously whenever you mention people, and I definitely try to broaden my spectrum. I thought for sure that you would mention somebody else as far as camping and such, since you had so much fun with that the last few weeks
Well,
and the
I do
video?
I do like what Spencer does, but I watch a lot of guys. Camping with Steve is one that I've been watching a lot, and he's from Canada, and he does mostly like stealth camping stuff, the stuff I'm too chicken to do. But there you go. There's fishing and stuff. He said Richard Gene is awesome. Awesome. I said it wrong. But yeah, camping with Steve Wallace YouTube channel. Just really like calm dude. Like he actually reminds me of you, Mike. But he's got a really
But
really
he
low
catches a lot of
voice.
fish, and
He
he can
doesn't
make
fish at all.
videos.
He doesn't fish at all.
Oh, okay.
All he does is camp. That's it. And he's got this neighbor, and he calls he calls him what does he call him? I think he just calls him neighbor. But he calls his wife beautiful wife. Like he doesn't use anybody's names, and he'll put himself in these predicaments. Like he'll camp out in a culvert, or he'll camp in a snow hill, or on the interstate. Like his neighbor will drop him off on the side of the road, and he'll run up into the median and stealth camp in there. But I just like how he sits there and he tells a story while he's camping. And in my last camping video on the boat, the one that I just put out Tuesday, that's what I tried to do. I tried to tell a story. Crazy neighbor. Yes, crazy neighbor. Thank you. So Chris is
Neighbor.
that's what he calls him. He calls him crazy neighbor. He did build a pontoon boat in one of his episodes, and they floated it down the river for a long time. That's right now that's who I'm really digging. There's a lot of other guys, obviously catfish and carp, and there you go, homemade raft. See, Mike, get on it, man. All these people know who I'm talking about, and you don't. But
Well, the person that I was going to mention from YouTube, because I mentioned my childhood Jimmy Houston hero worship. The person that I can sit there and I watch everything, but as soon as that video pops up, I just gotta watch it. Well, he just came into the chat, so we're going to embarrass fishing and stuff a little bit with some praise here,
fishing
because
stuff.
He does things that I would never ever be capable of doing. Not just from a video perspective, but also from his build perspectives. I mean, I don't even try to do that stuff. Everybody's like, you can make this out of this, you can do that, this and that. I'm the guy that doesn't even try. It's like, nope, I'll just buy it. I was like, I'm not gonna, because if I don't do it and
he's
do it
fishing his
well, then I'm
stuff,
gonna get
and
frustrated.
You're buying and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So I wouldn't do it just because my level of frustration would far exceed my level of any savings. And I don't know that I would enjoy it quite as much. And I think I'd have to think that he enjoys that quite a bit, and he's so good at it. And then you have the way that he delivers it. And I know that you know that I know that you know. He does that kind of stuff. And then, the little fishing lure that talks and all the other things that he makes talk. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of that. I'll be cooking and I'll play these videos just to keep myself having something else going on. I'm the guy that, the TV's probably always on whether I'm watching it or not, and usually I'm watching it, but even if I'm not, it's there. So when I'm cooking, I'll turn my tablet on or I'll put my phone over there, and Lauren could be out in the living room or whatever, doing whatever she's doing. And next thing you know, she comes in and she's just like, "Where's that talking fish? I got to see that talking fish." And if there happens to not be a talking fish or a talking item or lure or whatever inside there, she's like, "You let him know that I want that talking fish back." And I'm like, I'm not going to send him that. I'll just hope that it comes back. I can't get enough, man. I can't get enough of those videos, and a lot of them are, like I said, things I would not even consider doing. So it's amazing all the creativity that
It's
everybody
so
has.
funny. It's so funny that you mentioned that because as I told you, Mike, before the show, I was so just I was really down and out
Calm
after
down.
I
You're upsetting him. He's trying to sleep.
after I couldn't go fishing today because of the wind, and I had put so much time into going today. But I came home and I was like, "What is something that I can do fishing wise
Oh, I
that
forgot. Now
will,
I
yeah,
remember what you said.
yeah, that will make me feel better about all this time I've wasted today?" Because y'all, I wasted a good couple hours today, not going fishing, but trying to go fishing. And if you missed that part of the show, I tried to go today, and it was just the wind was too bad, and I get such a bad temper in the wind that even if I filmed something, even if I caught something, like my, I'm usually smiling and good humored and everything like that, and the wind just it brings out the evil in me. Ask my wife; she went with me a couple months ago, and the wind was bad, and I sinned a lot that day, Mike. I sinned a lot that day. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I came home. I came home and I looked at my rod rack, which I have outgrown, And so this rod rack is one that I got the idea from Fishing and Stuff. He built the PVC rod rack, and I put it on wheels. So I've
Yeah.
obviously acquired more rods since I built that, and so I needed to expand it because the rest of them are just leaning up against the wall. So I was like, okay, that's what I'll do today. So I put the boat away. I went to Lowe's. I got some more tees and some PVC, brought it home. Uh, First of all, I didn't have the glue at home that I thought I had, number one. Number two, um, the measurements that I thought that I had used, I did not use. So I ended up hacking up a bunch of PVC pipe, and let's just say it didn't work out. So there may be shards of PVC in the garage just everywhere, and I have a rod rack that's kind of leaning this way a little bit. So it didn't really work out. Oh man. Fat Boy Eric said, I like watching Fishing and Stuff videos. Yeah, man. I don't know who doesn't. Keith has done a great job. Not surprising. That glamorous bass stuff is always more expensive.
Okay, so Fishing and Stuff is in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that he had to fire the spinner bait because he wanted a raise, and he couldn't afford to give him the raise. That's why we haven't seen. See, he said he had to fire that spinner bait. The little talking spinner bait on the video. Yeah. No, this is your chance. You can tell Keith if you think that it's worth it, that he should pay that spinner bait the raise. Here's your chance.
Now we know that Lauren is just as good at the gift of gab as her dad is. So you're not fooling us, Lauren. We know you're not quiet.
Are you too tired? Are you ready to talk now?
Baba.
You want to talk about fishing? You want to talk about dinosaurs? You want to talk about dinosaurs that eat fish? Fish that eat dinosaurs? I mean, what are we talking about? You came down here. You knew I was going to be talking with Kevin.
That's because you already told me.
Yeah. Anything sound good? You want to tell us about any of your ideas for fishing?
I'm a knucklehead.
All right.
Indeed. Yeah, Rustic, that was the one thing. Like I could
Dad
not.
wears his clothes, has his pajamas.
Yeah, sometimes I just fall asleep. That's right.
Yeah, Rustic, like I just I could not find a place to get out of the wind. And I have some anxiety issues, so I really didn't I really just couldn't put the boat in. But yeah, The money I've spent on failed projects and experiments. Was supposed to be on Santee today and wasn't able to. Yeah, man. You would have. I don't know. They had a tournament out there. People caught fish. But I don't know, man. The wind is just killer for me. Like that's the thing. I can do with the rain. I can deal with the cold, but the wind and the mixture of everything else. Whew, yeah, I'm actually glad that um I didn't go.
Oh, wind in a pontoon boat, you can't even launch. That's the worst thing.
Yeah. And I couldn't launch in this new spot because there was a rocks as a current break before it gets to the dock. So my pontoon boat would have went up. If I had somebody, launching with me, they could have backed me down and I could have gotten the water. But what I do, and I need to do a video about this on how I launch my pontoon boat by myself. So I have a long rope, probably about 50-foot rope, and I back it off the trailer. Because my tires are so tall, I have to back way up, like till my back tires in the water.
Mhm.
I heard somebody lost a boat today at Santee because of the wind. Whoo, man! I don't doubt it, man. Like I wouldn't go out. I don't go out there if the wind is over 10 miles per hour. And today was 15 to 18 projected, so I didn't even go out on the lake today. I'm not doing that. But yeah, I back it in and I tie the other end to the trailer. And so whenever it gets out and gets taut, the boat turns the opposite way direction that I have it on the cleat. So usually at the landings I put in, when it takes that turn, it goes right towards the dock. I pull up a little bit, go over there, tie it off, go park the truck, and come back. This one, I wouldn't been able to do that. And there was a lady there sitting there watching me too, and she saw me the frustration on my face. I pulled up out the water and put the straps back on the boat, and I was like, I'm out of here. Let's see. My DIY projects usually turn out fine, but I have tons of spare parts from buying everything that might work, than finding something different. Especially with an enclosure on it, Rustic. Any of you guys fished Lake Monticello, South Carolina? Been wanting to try it. I have not. Oh, you can launch a pontoon. Getting it back on the trailer in the wind's another story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true
Um,
too.
yeah. Especially if you don't have any kind of windbreak. It was 16 mins. Yeah. It was the same thing last week, except the gusts were 25 miles per hour. So I wasn't about to do that. The only thing that I probably would have done is I would have drove all the way up to the diversion canal, and there's the whole canal is lined with trees, so I might have been able to fish there. Winds like that make it impossible in my kayak. Yeah, so I'm glad everybody understands. I don't feel as bad as I did earlier. Uh, I had an uncle die today. Ooh, sorry about that, man. Blue line, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I don't even like to bank fish in 25-mile-an-hour wind.
No. No. And you
Unless
you
you
put up.
can find a spot where you get under it. Like you go to the river, if you can get down,
Mhm.
underneath like a bit of the bank, like a little
Mhm.
hill or something like that, maybe. But
Yeah. So let's talk about fishing tournaments. We had a we had a show right there at the beginning of our podcast when we first started, maybe like show 3 or 5 or something like that. And we had Ray Ferguson in. He's a big tournament fisherman, um, primarily back in earlier days, but now he's come back out, and him and his girlfriend Melissa tournament fish a lot. But we had him on, and we talked about the progression of catfish tournaments. And what kind of reminded me about this is I know K&B Anglers, who's in here right now, he has a fishing tournament coming up in his neck of the woods on Lake Sinclair in August. So I figured we'd talk about that. Yeah, Chris, we'll definitely lift your family up, man. We're sorry to hear that. Not Chris, Eric. We'll definitely pray for you, buddy. Um, Would love to see both you guys, Kevin Amarillo and DC. Man, we're just getting Murillo used to traveling. He's already traveled more this year than he has any other year.
I don't think I had left the state for like almost 3 years.
And we got you out there to Kansas City.
I think we went. I think we went to a NASCAR race when Leia was little, so she might have been maybe 2 months old. So yeah, I bet I hadn't left
you
since
were due.
then. Yeah,
you were due.
But traveling, you got to get used to it. Like you said, that's going to take me some time. I got a list going now, though. There's a list of places I need to get to.
So Canby Angler said that his he's going to have a tournament on Lake Sinclair September 3rd. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that. But we now have 3 different styles of tournaments, and I have finally competed in all 3, and I haven't won any of them, any of the styles. But we have the old school style. You actually go to a waterway. You sign up, you put your boat in, you fish for your fish, you bring them back, you weigh them in, you take pictures, and then you get a chance to win money. So I did that for the first time last year, Patriots Veterans Tournament. That was awesome, and I can't wait to do it again. I hope that I know he had said something about he wasn't sure if he was going to do it. So if you're going to be in Patriots Tournament, if you're going to go on April 16th, make sure you send him an email or a text or Facebook message or something, because he's not going to do it if there's not enough people to sign up. So make sure that you send him that. The second kind of tournament, Chad started. It was Fishing with the Chad at the time. It's Field of Waters now. But he started a couple Octobers ago, and he started using StreamYard, this app that we're using right now, online tournaments, and been in several of those, hosted several of those. Those are always fun. People like those. There's a bunch of them coming up. And then we have this new style. And this new style is really fun, Mike. And basically, you go out fishing and you use a measuring board to measure your fish. It's all by inches. And then you take a picture and upload it to an app called Fishing Chaos. And I was able to participate that for the January boat tournament, month-long boat tournament, and it was fun. So I like kind of how those have progressed. Have you, other than the online one, have you participated in any kind of fishing tournaments?
I wouldn't call it a tournament, but annually there's a carp fest, and I guess you could call it like a 1-day, 4-hour fishing contest. It is done by length, and there are prizes. So you could say, yes, I've done that several times. I was never a fan of length until the one year that I won it by 1/8 of an inch. And then I was just lucky that they even decided to measure it that way, because some people round down and they just keep it at quarters or whatever the rules may be. But yeah, we're being attacked by a clown again. The puppy woke up and he found his squeaky ball.
Man, you have like all kinds of stuff going on at your house so late.
Yeah, it's interesting so far.
I think you need to build you a room onto the house, a podcast room.
Yeah,
get on that.
Definitely a requirement of the next house. I want a porch. I want an attached garage. I would like only one staircase if possible, and definitely need an office. I was told this past week that I have fishing rods in the living room, the kitchen, the basement, and my office. And I quickly responded to that. Yeah. It's just because our living room and dining room technically is one big room.
Mhm.
We don't even
Mine
have
is
a dining room table, so you can't call it a dining room. I mean, we don't use the table for that. Actually, it's been turned into a work from home computer area.
Mhm.
So, and
Yeah,
it's not
our whole house is like open. We do have some hallways, but our living room, kitchen, dining room, hallway is all the same. But yeah, so I think it's interesting. I think it's awesome that the amount of things that you can get into nowadays fishing, and you don't have to travel for two of the modes. So, you just got to
Mhm.
keep your eye out. I know that in March there's going to be some tournaments. Uh, I know that Catfish and Crappie has one coming up. The March Madness sounds really cool, and then you got a whole bunch of other ones coming up. I'll pull up the community calendar and I'll actually look. Let's see. This month, that's pretty much that. I don't see any tournaments on the calendar this month. Man, he's going at it on that toy,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Hey, man,
CatCon,
want
you got
something quiet?
CatCon, but in March, we have every weekend in March. It looks like Mark's got something on Catfish and Crappie. Then on April 2nd, you got Carp and Cat 2 by Two Old Vets. Avid's got a Channel Cat tournament on the 9th. You got Patriots tournament on the 16th, and you also got the Biggest Losers tournament on 16th and 17th. And then the tournament series I was going to do, I handed it over to Stan. I'm not sure if he's going to do that or not, but that starts on April 23rd. You got No Script versus the Bait Shop. Got all
Yep.
kinds of stuff. So there's
They're
going to be
still
a
trying to
lot of
fill out their rosters.
yeah. There's going to be a lot of tournaments coming up, and people can get into those things. So that's awesome. There's Art. I saw them live today.
You get home, Art?
I thought that noise was Murphy.
Nope, it's Leo. He woke up. Lauren was laying down with him for a minute.
So my hair got caught up.
So let's talk about what's going on in the community, man. I mean, a lot of people are going live nowadays. A lot of people. A lot of them are going live during the work week, and so you have a lot to watch during the work week. Anybody in particular that you've seen pop out that you kind of want to talk about?
I have found myself just counting down the minutes and the moments to the next time when Lee Evans is going to go live. Now, some people can look at this from very different perspectives because Lee has tried to go live every single day, and that includes weekends. He will go live for whatever amount of time he's got, and it'll be talk show, it'll be bring people in who are fishing, it'll be fishing himself, then bringing other people in to chat. And I think that some people, and maybe even Lee himself, have looked at it as it has not been all that special because it's every day. But I'm telling you right now, the only other person that I think that could get away with that and pull it off that well every single day would probably be Oprah herself. This is not anything easy. Even right now, I can see the time ticking up there. We're coming up on an hour and a half. And that time has flown by. And our podcasts are not this long, typically. So we try to keep it close to an hour. But you're talking about someone who comes on every day. And I don't know. I mean, a short one might have been 40, 50 minutes. And the long ones might be 5 or 8 hours
Yeah. I've seen
long.
some long ones.
And you're talking about fishing the whole time. You're talking about equipment, tactics, learning how to read navionics. You're talking about just regular life stuff. and so many different people have come on, and there's maybe a handful that are very consistent contributors and or cameos, whatever you want to say. But it's never not fun, and it's him. It's
Mhm.
him that's doing it. I just love it. I can't get enough of it, and to me, that makes it even more special. And
Mhm.
now I'm an observer. I also contribute here and there. But Kevin, you did a regular Sunday night show for
Mhm.
a little over a year, was it? Or was it a year and a
Yeah,
half?
sounds about right.
I mean, how hard was that to do a show once a week, much less if you had to do a show every single day?
Well, I don't know. It's a little different. I
Yeah.
mean, when you have a programmed show where it's where you have to have a guest on, you have to have a topic, you're not just coming on to chat. I think it's a little different, and I found it very time consuming and hard to get people to commit to do that kind of stuff. As opposed to something like this, and I think Lee does it, and he's got some awesome friends that are able to jump in, during work and things like that. It's not as stressful, I guess. And so I applaud like Catfish Weekly and Mark from Catfish Crappy and Chad and Muskrat, all the guys who are still doing it and avid that do a weekly show. And they have to find a guest every week. And the reason why I kind of stopped doing it was because there's just not that many people to interview, and it's so time consuming to find people, get them to agree to come on, you know, figure out if they're going to have internet, if they know they're tech savvy enough to use this StreamYard, and then to have that back and forth and be comfortable with somebody you may not know that well is really stressful. So I applaud all those guys, and I feel like they're doing a great job. But yeah, that Lee pops up and he's just kind of living life on there, and
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like the Truman Show. You remember the
It's
Truman Show?
yeah, it's so you said it too. It's so real.
Yeah.
And not that not that we don't play on that word quite a little bit, with our podcast and with our jokes and everything, but it it just makes it so nice.
Mhm.
And maybe 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 it's also because for me, maybe my reaction to it is also because I would never want to do a weekly show.
Mhm.
I don't think that I could handle that stress, strain, organization, the pressures, and which in my mind turns into anxiety. I don't think that I
Mhm.
could do that. And truthfully, there's so many people out there that get themselves set up so well, and they
Mhm.
and whether it's fishing or whether it's a show or whether it's a little bit of both, they just make it look so natural and so
Mhm.
easy. And I don't feel like it's easy. Now, of course, you're also talking to a guy who went live like, I don't know, 8 or 10 different times last year, never caught a fish. My daughter caught fish when we were live. That's great. I'm way
Mhm.
happier that she catches a fish than me. So
Mhm.
maybe I just let that pressure and that anxiety eat me up. But you and I talk
Mhm.
about it all the time too. You can see people on live shows, and I swear that they just let that pressure get to them, and they add it on to themselves, and
Mhm.
they amplify it themselves, when really it's like, hey man, we're out, we're watching you fish, and if nothing shows up to bite the line, then hey, we gave it a shot, we're having a blast. And I want a little bit more from everybody whenever it happens that they're online. I'm like, oh, come on, tell me a story, or
Mhm.
tell me you say you fished this spot on and off for the last 25 years. Well, tell me a story about it, or tell me a legend,
Mhm.
and I was talking the other day, and someone's like, "Come on, man! Everybody's telling stories whenever they're talking, and this, that, and me too. I'm
Yeah.
telling stories too, but every now and then, interesting and different details come out,
Mhm.
and other stories that people would have never thought of come out, and that happened to
Mhm.
me when I was invited to be a guest on uh, Tom and
Doc
Jody's
Tales.
show, Doc Tales.
Well, before you go
And
into that, Mike, because it's hard to get you to stop a story. So
oh yeah,
keep that in your
I'm
mind.
rolling.
Keep that in your mind, y'all. I'm going to do a giveaway if you haven't noticed. Santee Drifters, made by a South Carolinian right here, local company. Um, the original pressure release right here. Jimmy from Fishing and Gear has a company called Santee Drifters. You can get them santeedrifters.com. And what's great about these weights, not only are they more snag free from any other drifting weight, but they're great colors. They're made by someone right here in Santee Cooper, small business owned. But if this weight gets caught and you're pulling it and you're trying to get the snag out, this swivel right here will pop out under 10 pounds of pressure. So all you lose is your weight and not your whole rig. So we're going to be giving away a pack of these. Jimmy from SanteeDrifters.com said that I can give some away. So enter hashtag Santee Drifters for your chance to win a pack of Santee Drifters from SanteeDrifters.com. And if you don't win, I have a discount code in the description so that you can get 15% off. So go check that out. I think it's Palmetto 15. But thank you, Jimmy, from Fishing and Gear, for donating some of those. And I proudly use those on all of my dragging rigs. Mike, we also, while you're finishing up your story, we got a guest in the basement. And I'm going to bring him up so he can listen to your story with us. And that's Mr. John Parker for Real Time Catfishing. I'm going to mute him until he gets his YouTube straight. But hey, Mr. John, how you doing?
And I'm going to bring him up.
I'm going to go ahead and mute him again. He's listening on YouTube instead of on StreamYard.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and finish that story, buddy.
No, so I all I was going to say was that I get invited onto a show, and this time the timing actually worked out. I have been invited onto 2 other shows. Just happens that the timing just hasn't worked out, and one of those is Avid. He was in the chat. I don't know if he still is. So sorry that I still haven't made it onto the show yet, Avid. But I'll try to figure it out one of these days. So anyway, I get on there, and I start telling stories about how, just truthful stories about how I'm the kid who would fall in the lake all the time, and I didn't want to go away to college because I didn't want to live far away from my mom. So in the chat, they're calling me a mama's boy, and they're saying that, I'm the clumsy one that always falls in the lake. And then next thing you know, we start talking about
What's
baloney.
up, guys? I'm trying to do it where I can see and I can't hear nothing. Just a typical mess that always happens when I try to go live or with somebody.
You can't hear
No
us, Mr.
problem.
John?
I'm the clumsy one that always falls in the lake.
Yeah, I think
He's
listening on the
He's
other.
listening on the iPad. Mr. John, if you can hear me, you have to mute the iPad. Go ahead, Mike.
No, let's talk him through here.
I think he's trying to figure it out on his
We
phone.
were talking about frustration and stuff like that. I don't want to add to his.
He'll figure it out. John's.
Oh, look,
getting better
Dana's
at
in the
streaming.
chat too.
Yeah,
Dana will help square him around.
He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so we're talking about all these different things, and then we start talking about bologna, and I mean the food, the meat, bologna, and I timed it, and we did talk about bologna for over an hour, so it was just incredible. And like you said, once you go off tangent a little bit, or you let me talk and this and that, and I've talked with Tom after that. And
I
Tom's
thought it
like,
was hilarious.
people are telling me I got to control the show a little bit more and ask questions and try to redirect and this and that. He's like, heck, I just wanted to listen to all your stories. I was like, yeah, but
He
Tom,
didn't know what he was getting into with you, man.
I was like, Tom, we talked about baloney for an hour. He's like, it was awesome. And I loved it too. I swear, I think it was not the next week, but maybe the week after that. Or no, yeah, it was last week. That their guest was unable to make it, and I started getting all the equipment ready, and I drank a couple cups of coffee, and I'm like, let's go, let's do it again. And then I'm like, no, I better not. So I didn't send him a message saying to send me a link, but I knew the back orders were going to start coming in, so I better stay away from it. But I almost went in for part 2. So
bacon is better.
We can talk about bacon. I live in Iowa, and
well, I do actually have something to say about bacon, but let's give away these Santee Drifters real quick.
Yeah, they're
right,
as good as bacon.
Good luck, everybody. Crappy day fish on. Congratulations. If you're still in Michael's raise funds, Avid is paying for your raise, man. Thank you, Avid. Boom, 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 boom. Crappy day, you know the deal. Send me an email, palmettocats@gmail.com with your address, and I'll get that over to Jimmy. He'll send those right out to you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Y'all, we're going to give away a sticker pack later on, so hang around. We're not done yet. Brian B. activated his giveaway detector. Hey, Pontoon Jody. Awesome. Yeah, so bacon. So I've I think that I've decided, on these camp out videos, people seem to really like that video that I put out this week. And I'm very thankful for that because putting out different kind of content on your channel is iffy. You don't know quite how it's going to go, but the views have been doing pretty good for my channel. And for editing the video. Oh, that wasn't Mike. That was Mexicat. But we can pass it on to Mexicat. This is Mexi Mike. But they really liked it, and obviously they like the bacon. So I think I'm gonna have a theme on those camping videos, Mike, and it's gonna be bacon. Every trip I'm gonna cook bacon of some sort.
I like this idea a lot.
There you go. There's Mexicat. That $5 is for you. I'll send it back with Mike from CatCon. Actually, it's going to be about what, $4.72. But yeah, so I think I'm going to do like thick cut bacon, gourmet bacon, peppered bacon. There's Mark heard us. Did someone say bacon?
Yep. I knew he was going to pop up.
Hey, James.
It's like raising the bat symbol against the moon. You say bacon and Mark's there.
All right. Thanks for stopping in, Kev. Let's see. Try fried with bacon, lettuce, tomato. I think you're still talking about bologna. There's a lot of people talking about bologna.
I did it again.
Zach, so if you go check out LG Bass, my all capital letters on Facebook or on YouTube, then you'll find that Doc Tales. Let's see. Fishing Stuff said, no, I meant the member only editing video last week. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
No money for you, Mexicat.
Yeah, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that $4.72. But yeah, so thanks. Yeah, he's mentioning there is I did a live editing session, and Keith called me and we had a getting good pointers. Give me a break. You're such a liar. But thank you. I appreciate it. You got some strobe lights going over there?
Okay, I was reorganizing some of the fishing gear in the dining room area, and I made a very big mistake. I left out the flashlight container. And no, yeah, put it on. Show them. Lauren has found all of my headlamps, and yep, there it is. and and all the other flashlights. Just don't shine them in anybody's eye, especially your own eye. Don't shine them in your eye. Kevin said I had bad lighting, so this will help.
I don't know about that.
All right, go back over there with the rest. Shut them off too. You don't want to waste all the batteries.
Yeah, don't waste the batteries. You don't want to get out there and need light and don't have it.
Yeah, we'll have to find a battery guy if you waste all the batteries.
I'm gonna do a lot of some gourmet bacon, different styles, thick, thin, whatever. So I think I'm gonna do that in those camping videos. Now I just have to find time to go do the camping videos. I thought about it tonight, but like I said, that anxiety just got to me. So
you get that thick cut butcher bacon,
yeah,
and then you'll only need but a few strips every time you go. Mm-hmm. Might be able to turn that into some nice sandwiches or wraps or however you want to load that up.
Yeah, and I'm mostly going to do I'm going to try to keep it low carb, so that way I can prove to people that you can do low carb and enjoy it, while camping and stuff. Because I think, and myself included, sometimes you get to, you go out camping or you have whatever, and you just ruin whatever diet you were on. So, but yeah, thick cut bacon. We have a butcher shop. I passed it today on the way home from the boat ramp, and I was like, man, I should stop in there. But I had the boat on the back, and it's down a dirt road, and it's always packed. But you can go in this butcher shop, and they have like 30 people working in the center behind the coolers, and you can just see all the meat and behind the glass and everything. So I was gonna go in there and pick up some bacon, but now I want bacon. Gourmet bacon. You're saying you can make bacon better than it already is? Yeah. Now we can talk about that. There are classes of bacon. I say there are classes of bacon, and the bacon I had today was the lowest class. The lowest class. It was like the red pack bacon from Walmart. That's the only one that's under $4 right now. So I was like, I'm not paying $6 for a pack of bacon, not unless there's nothing else. But I had to have bacon. So I'll be doing things like that. I'll be finding ways to incorporate bacon into the diet.
Does your package actually say where it's come from, where the bacon comes from? Does it say like a product of South Carolina or a product of wherever it's from?
It might.
All right.
Whisker and Stripes said, let's talk boat camping in a future real deal. Not many of us camp out on the boat. Yeah, we can talk about it now. I just gained 10 pounds by listening to this bacon talking. Bacon wrapped pork tenderloin. Yep. Hey, Bluegill Girl. That's a new channel name for me. Welcome to the chat. I like that name, though. I like that name. It comes from pig. Try the Canadian bacon. That bacon is fat in a package missing the bacon. Yep. Y'all welcome Bluegill Girl into the chat. We definitely want to make new people feel welcome in here. And there might be new people watching. And you guys, if you are watching, thanks for coming in. For everyone, make sure you hit that thumbs up. This is just kind of a taste of what Mike and I do every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on the Real Deal Fishing Podcast. Usually it has less strobe lights than this and less squeakers. We're just having an awesome night.
That one hurt.
But we do it in the members only section. So if you want to come in and chat with us just like you're doing right now, we record a podcast every Tuesday night, but you have to be a Boom Squad member to come in. And speaking of Boom Squad members, we got Mr. LG Bass joining us tonight. What's up, Mr. Tom?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Nothing much. Mike brought you up earlier and talked about how he just steamrolled your whole show, and I figured you could get
He did.
You could get some revenge on him tonight. I mean, not revenge. You can come on here and talk about it. So tell us a little bit about your show.
Yeah, it was. Trying to get a little bit more volume here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. We've done 14 episodes of the show, and I don't know. I was watching when Mike was talking. I don't know if you saw in the chat that he is our highest watched show to date. I believe 445 views or something like that. That's crazy. Like I said, we talked about baloney, and it was. The chat was rolling to the point where I'm still trying to learn to deal with the chat and interact with the person I'm talking to as well as doing chat, and we just lost control of it. Mike just started talking and everybody was rolling and laughing, and
I was
before
laughing
we knew it,
the
it's like,
whole time.
Yeah, it's like there goes that chat. So the big thing I took away from that is I learned that Michael was a goalie growing up, a hockey goalie. Yep.
Yeah, and you gotta, and anybody in the future who wants to have Mike on your show. Now we're picking on him, but we're not picking on him because Mike, he just I don't know why, but my screen just said we dropped down to one live viewer. Did we go offline?
No, mine does that every now and then too. And then it'll
does?
go right back up to like 89 or something.
Maybe it kicked everybody out for a commercial or something.
77.
I don't know. There it goes. It went back up. That's weird.
Yeah.
I was gonna start thinking it was me.
Yeah, I was like, we need to get Tom off of here, man.
But since Michael brought it up, it was funny the other night. We did have a miscommunication, and we were kind of hoping it was going to clear itself up right until the last minute, but it didn't. And I had on the back of my mind, Michael said he'd come on up anytime I want him, and I had it in the back of my mind to reach out to him. I said, you know what? It's just too short a notice, and I don't want to put him on the spot. And we'll just go with what we had. But
I was there. I was ready. And for whatever reason, last time I went to get some coffee, I had a coupon, and they had Colombian and Donut House and Breakfast Blend and House Blend. And then I noticed that they had coffee from Honduras and Guatemala. So I decided to take the Guatemalan coffee because, let's face it, if you say it with a true accent, there's not many more fun words than saying Guatemala. So
Guatemala.
See? It's fun. Now, what I learned about this coffee after I got it going was that it literally instantly increases my heart rate. Now, Tom, on your show, I drank 2 big old cups of it before we got going. And that's why I blazed right through the first hour. We were talking for like an hour and 52 minutes. And then I looked at myself, I'm like, how long is the show supposed to be? I forgot to ask, and I just talked all the way through. So
yeah.
It was fun.
Well, I was kind of a little nervous about that because I think you had asked me before, just out of curiosity, you asked, how long does the show normally go? And I told you, normally we go an hour, but if the conversation's still flowing and you want to stay, but I was thinking, well, maybe he only wants to do the hour. And then when we went blowing by the hour and he kept on going, I said, he must be good with it.
We can't stop him. Somebody help. No, we're picking on Mike, but he's got such a wealth of knowledge and stories galore. And I think Mike is like, you got those people that are just born storytellers, and I think Mike is one of those guys. I know Mike is one of those guys. And, the good
But
thing about
I
it,
didn't even get to.
go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead, Dom.
I'm sorry, good. I was going to say I didn't even really get to ask Mike about his carp fishing.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Episode 2 has to happen, Tom.
Yep.
All
right.
I'll get some
We'll book you.
history written down. I'll get some rigs so that way I can show them and talk about them, and we can talk about some of the successes and the failures over the first 40
All right.
years of my fishing career chasing carp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to anyone who's got Mike on their show in the future, know that if you cut him off, he's not going to get upset at you because he knows that he can go, and he's an unstoppable machine when it comes to the gift of gab. So I had to learn that because
he can outlast you.
I didn't want Mike to get offended, and he's like, "No, dude, stop me. Just stop me." John Parker, did you figure it out?
I so much appreciated it coming up.
Man, I just want to come back in and apologize. I tell you,
Don't
I
come
had
in
so
here
much
all.
daggone
Listen,
trouble.
don't come in here all gloomy and doomy and gloomy. We don't got time for that.
I had so much trouble. I had so much trouble when I tried to log on. It's Murillo's fault.
It's Murillo's fault.
He blames everything else on me. I had a riverbank. I had to blame him tonight.
Well, let's talk about something now. Since we got a few guests on here, so let's talk about. We were talking about catching cooks and bacon and stuff. So, what kind of stuff do you like cooking that has to do with fish? I like cooking any type of fish, but here recently, with the low carb diet, and by the way, I'm in the double digits for losing weight now, so right
That's
on
great.
with that. But like Tom, so like if you had to cook fish or Michelle had to cook your fish, like what is the type of fish that you like to cook the best?
Lobster. Without a doubt.
I guess I should specify, not shellfish. But
right. Well, we're from New England, both of us. So we were raised on haddock and cod and flounder. So I'm kind of more towards the ocean fish, anything out of the ocean more so. And also we grew up catching trout. Now I do like some rainbow trout and some native brook trout. Some of the greatest meals I think I ever had growing up. After fishing with my grandfather would do the trout, and they were just. I remember them to this day, and it's been 50 some odd years now since I had one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean nobody doesn't. Well, I guess if you're allergic to shellfish, you don't really like it. But yeah, lobster definitely. Shrimp, I love lobster, shrimp. What about you, John? What kind of fish do you like cooking up?
I like.
And by the way, Brian B said, "Boy," I said, "Boy."
I like filleted crappie.
Okay.
We go crappie fishing every April in Bugs Island and fill the coolers up and fillet them while we're there and fish fry after fish fry. So if I had to say a favorite fish, filleted crappie.
All right. Then that's something that I hadn't really had in a long time, and I've always subscribed to the notion that panfish are going to taste like panfish, and really, if you put batter on it and fry it, most fish are going to taste like fish, every other kind of fish. Am I wrong in that, or does somebody else have a different opinion?
In my opinion, crappie don't have a fish taste at all. It's if you fillet them, get the bone out of them and cook them, it really don't taste like fish. It's not fishy at all.
What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I think it depends upon how fresh they are. And if I were to pick a freshwater fish, it probably would be a crappie or a walleye. I think walleye would probably beat them out for me, but they're both wonderful, and nothing beats catching them and cooking them right away.
James Alba just said you're wrong. He didn't add anything else. He just said you're wrong. Yeah, I guess I didn't ask for a specification. What about you, Mike? You don't eat too much fish, do you?
We have been trying more, mainly because Lauren really likes that Spencer cooks as many fish on his videos as he does, and he makes fish tacos. So I've been trying to do more of that just to give her a little taste of it, give her a little experience to it. I remember when we were younger, my mom would buy perch from the grocery store. So we would eat yellow perch with a nice cornmeal crust on
Batter,
it. So
yeah.
fried, nice cornmeal. So it was good stuff. I also learned after trying Whisker Seeker's cornmeal based breading that Kristen's not a fan of cornmeal based breading. She prefers flour. So we have done fish tacos a few times with mixed results, and that's okay, But I always say if you're going to fry it and put some seasoning on it, I'm going to eat it. So, and I love tartar sauce. I love tartar.
I agree. I'm not a big cornmeal fan myself. I either like flour or tempura. Tempura I like because you can flavor the tempura, and you can have the batter have a good flavor to it. Most times you have tempura, it's just texture and the taste of the oil until you get to the fish. But I like that you can pour a beer into tempura or anything really just to flavor it up. We like to talk about food. I mean, we're all bigger dudes. So, somebody asked us, I think it was Whiskers and Stripes talked about camping. So, let's talk about, I know, Mike, you don't do much camping. I don't know if John or Tom do, but, what's your favorite thing to cook out when you're camping?
We never go camping.
My favorite is sausage and eggs.
Like breakfast sausage?
No. Yeah, breakfast sausage and eggs. When I'm out there camping and fishing, I don't eat but one meal a day. That's breakfast. The rest of the day, I'm on the boat. So that's it.
What about you, Tom?
I'd probably say the bacon and eggs. I love bacon, and I like to start my day with some scrambled eggs, and I think I've got that down pretty good right about now. That's like my signature dish is. I graduated from Fruit Loops to bacon and eggs. So.
Well, I guess and I haven't had the opportunity to sample Michelle's fabulous cooking, but I've heard a lot about it. So I guess if you have someone that's cooking those meals for you, you really don't need to do much. You don't have to learn much.
Nope. Yeah, she's darn good at it. I'll say that.
Yeah. Half Century said not a boiled egg omelet, and he or she is referring to what I did on that first camp out video I did about a month ago, where I put scrambled eggs in a bag with some ham and some cheese, but that I do like that sort of thing though, because it's something that you can just throw the little baggie in your cooler, and you don't really have to take knives and cutting boards and all kinds of crazy stuff. You can just throw it in the boiling water. So I am a fan of that, but I realize on the YouTube side, people like to actually see the process of preparing and cooking out in the wild. So I think I'm going to do a mix of that kind of stuff. Michelle said breakfast sandwiches. Have you heard of this breakfast sandwich, Mike?
I have heard of it. I will travel to the dock to sample it. It is on my travel list.
Absolutely.
I am going to have to go there to try the sandwich and anything else that comes out of Michelle's kitchen. And I believe that destiny states that I have to become friends with the carp off of the dock.
Yes.
We got to know how big
Yep.
these things are by getting one of them out of the water.
Yeah.
Check this
Yeah,
out.
we have for those that don't know.
I'm sorry, Tom. I don't mean to. It sounds like I'm cutting you off, but there's a little delay from when you're speaking.
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
we're speaking.
Right.
So Mr. Gadget put that there's a campground on the water just down from Tom's place. Just saying. So
Yep.
I think
Yep.
we're gonna. I'm ready to get on this. Gadget's got my number. We need to figure out a good time. Maybe Murillo can come down and we can have a Tom and Michelle meet and
Yep.
greet. I think that would be awesome. And I'd love to camp in the campground, but I don't want to just do an overnight thing. Like I want to make it a couple day
Right.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're welcome to stay here. You know what I mean? We got an extra bedroom. As the kids moved out, we kind of downsized. She made a dining room out of one bedroom, and so we don't have that much space considering the size of our house anymore. But we definitely got at least one spare bedroom, and anybody wants to come down, you guys are all welcome. I thought you were coming one other time. What was it, on your way to somewhere you were headed? You said you were going to stop by on your way through, and I thought we were going to get you on the dock, but
yeah, it just didn't
it'll
work
happen.
out last year. Yeah, I'm definitely coming down. Not just to fish, but just to hang out with you guys. I'm really into that, and I know John Parker does it a lot, where you have family and friends come out to the dock, and I just love that kind of atmosphere. We don't have too much of that here, where a bunch of guys just go out, guys and girls go out fishing and just hang out. But in college, I did a lot of that. There was a lot of spirits going on then that aren't going on now. But I think we could still have fun. John, you have a lot of people out there on the dock with you when you go fishing.
Yeah, sometimes several people come out, but most of the time it's just me and Dana. But once in a while, I get 3 or 4 more come out and fish. Or Backlash, he'll show up every once in a while, and a couple more. But we ain't got a lot of YouTubers in my area. We just got
It
ain't
not around here either. Not around here
Yeah.
either. I will say that I'll be having the meet and greet again in October. So it's going to be around the end of October. So hopefully people can, more people can come down. We had a blast. I met Mark from Whisker Pig Fishing and Freddie from Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. Maybe Nina can come with them this time. And then Richard Montano came down there. He said something earlier that I made him eat something. I don't remember what it was. Here we go. Richard Montano said, guys, I tried one time to make Senor Kevin eat some cow liver for breakfast. Yeah, I didn't eat that. I tasted it. It was very metallic. It was very metallic. Michelle said I can bring the boat to the and camp it up right next to the dock. Yeah, I guess we could do that too. Big Mike said that's another person I want to go visit is Big Mike, fish off the Blinky dock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alvin Lewis. Hey. So John, tell us a little bit about what you got coming up on the channel, man. Promote your channel a little bit.
Well, we're 2 weeks ago, we started a new thing called the Pastor's Perspective. We just sit down and just have a little chat with our pastor and with the audience. Thinking maybe doing that maybe once a month. I don't want to do it too much, but it ain't a whole lot coming up around here but fishing. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna try to get out once a week, even through this cold weather. If I can get Dana to take me, we're gonna try to get out there at least once a week and fish. But other than that, we ain't got a whole lot going on. Just it's a struggle to try to get to the river and back, as much as I'd like to. Because y'all know Dana don't like it like I do. She goes because she wants me to go, but She ain't no fan of going in no cold weather. I'm gonna tell you that. But,
Yeah, I hear that. You just got to keep her warm, man.
Yeah, I know. She got her a nice coat, and we've been going to this place where we can build a little fire. So it's looking better. I think next Thursday is supposed to be kind of warm for us. So I
Us
am
too.
thinking about pulling out of here like 4 o'clock in the morning and heading to Lake Mattamuskeet and do some catfish and carp fishing. They also got white perch out there that are just absolutely horrendously big. So we're gonna have some good time next Thursday, I hope.
Yeah, next weekend is supposed to be nice and warm here too.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get out.
Try to get out Thursday.
How about you, Tom? You got a show coming up on Wednesday night. Who's your guest?
I believe it's going to be Art from One Ton this week. We're going to try to find out some new information from Art that we don't already know. What's that? I'm sorry.
Mike was saying that if he was kind of hoping it was him, but maybe if Art has some technical difficulties, you can send him the link.
Well, I know that now. If something happens at the last minute, Mike's getting a call, and you better be ready.
Did you hear that, Mike?
Yeah, I'm ready. I was just reading Fishing with Big Mike's post there.
Yeah, he said his wife broke out in hives for some reason. Man, lots of people getting sick around here.
Hope she's getting better.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about hero worship earlier in the fishing community. What about you guys? Tom, is there anybody in particular you look up to?
I'm kind of, I don't know how to, a lot of the guys that have been in this community longer, I don't really know that much about because I've only been in it for a short amount of time. I've only been here for roughly a year and a half, maybe. So a lot of the guys, I know the names, but I don't have a whole long history with them. Obviously, outside the community, my grandfather, he's the one that took me fishing when I was a kid, and he's the one that did the most for me and got me interested in that. In the community, I think I'd like to fish with a lot of people. I don't know if I could take the boot camp, but Epic would be great. I don't know if I my body wouldn't take all that workout. I don't think, but Mark and Lyle, all those guys. I'd love to go on that Mendota trip and Dockery. He's a fishing machine, of all kinds of fish. And, I think that would probably be in my wheelhouse right there.
What about you, John?
My biggest hero will always be my dad. He started us out fishing when we just could get in that little Carolina boat, and we fished every day we could go. We get out of school, he'd take us. He passed away two or 3 years ago, and I don't have another real big hero. The man that got me started or lit a fire under me to do YouTube was Steve Douglas. He was the very first one I ever saw fish. I've never seen anybody fish on TV for catfish before him. So if I go outside the community, it's my dad. Within the community, it'd be Mr. Douglas.
And obviously, both of those are fantastic examples of people to look up to. We're coming up on 2 hours and 15 minutes. Mike, I'm gonna do a sticker giveaway here in just a minute. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up or touch on before we get out of here, Mike?
No. Oh, we're not ready to start the second half of the live.
the after hour show.
Hero worship is one thing, but just what you enjoy about the community here is completely another. So would either of you two guys want to talk about, the positive aspects of the community that you enjoy the most?
That's a great question.
Well, I will. The most positive thing I get out of this is the people. To me, it's not about catching the fish. I want to catch them. They're not that plentiful in our rivers, but nevertheless, I just love going out yonder and sitting out there and talking and interacting with the people. And you, Mr. Morello, even though you're Team Dana 100%. I love going out there. I love it when you're in the stream. I mean, I just love going out there and talking to the people that love real-time catfishing because we love them all back.
I was going to throw you off there, but I couldn't stop laughing to do it. I was going to be like, babe. Don't be telling them that you like me in the stream. All we do is argue.
I know we do. That's why when Kevin sent me the link a while ago, I was like, babe, I think Kevin hit the button by mistake. Send it to me.
Yep. I thought I saw you put that. I thought I saw you put that in the chat. I thought you put in there that wasn't Murillo. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, Kevin did send him a link.
What about you, Tom?
I think John kind of took my answer, so I think we kind of think alike anyways, but it's been all about the community. It's like I'm trying my hardest to get to CatCon, and I don't even need anything. I'm not going there to buy a thing. I'm sure something might catch my eye, but I got rods, I got reels, I got tackle, and I'm only fishing from the bank, so I don't need any boat gear. But I just want to meet everybody, and get to talk to people that otherwise from that side of the country that may come to that I might not get to meet otherwise. And I'm really looking forward to it. But I start my day by first thing I do when I come out of the bedroom, I turn on the TV and hook up YouTube as I start my morning coffee. And then I've just become a YouTube junkie to the fact that we don't even need regular TV anymore because neither one of us watch it. And I'm happy, like you were talking about Lee. I watch Lee every morning, and I just go from page to page to page watching guys all day long until I have something I need to do. And I get a lot of joy from just sitting here by myself doing that. Or Michelle will sit down a lot of the times with me, and she's got the chat going on her phone so she can type. And so that's just been a blessing for me.
And I've
the whole
noticed
YouTube
Michelle's
community.
got into it a bunch more recently. When you first started,
Yep.
she wasn't in it as much, and now she's getting into it.
Well, she started. She made a video one day while we were down at the dock, and the very first video she made was the making of the breakfast sandwich. And she had never made a video before. I had never made a video before, and we came in from fishing, and she told me, "Hey, take your shoes off. Come here, I want to show you something." And she had this video already done, and she downloaded that onto my channel at first, and then she made another one for one of the treats that she makes, the ooey gooey bars. And then she said, "Hey, why are you getting all the credit for everybody's giving you the thumbs up? And I made those." She said, "I'll do my own channel." So go for it. People love to see what you do. And she's very, very awesome cook. She can do just about anything, and she's starting to get into it, and she's really enjoying it. And I can't say enough about it. I always kid her as soon as she drops a new video. It's like, "All right, what's the next topic? What are you going to make next time?" And I'm always trying to get some input on what's going on.
I like her comment. It's not difficult. Hit play. I think she may hit record and talk. Yeah, and sometimes, especially when you're starting out, that's all it has to be. And so, I haven't been here very long either, Tom, and I know it seems like it, but I've only been here for like 2 years. And some people ask me questions about my advice on starting YouTube, and I tell them not to do it the way I did. I went into it as I had to have all the stuff now. I had to have the logo. I had to have the branding. And I'm glad I did it because I didn't have to do it later. but you don't have to do all. You don't have to have all that stuff ready right now. Your best camera is probably right here, unless you got a flip phone. That's probably your best camera right there,
Right.
and you already got it.
Yeah.
Like Michelle said, hit record and just start. Put stuff out there, and if you're doing catfishing stuff, this community will share it out for you because it's very hard. It's very hard to get cranked up when you're doing content that doesn't have a community. And you
Right.
look around. There's a camping community. There's probably a DIY community. There's a catfish community. There's a crappie community. So those people will get yourself started, and then as you get into those, communities and start getting those shares out, then YouTube picks you up in the algorithm. Now, it may not be the bomb.com algorithm that we all want to be, the 70-foot hole algorithm, but but it could be one day. It could be one day. So
Yeah.
I think Michelle hit it right on the head of the nail. Press record and start talking.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know how to talk. I got that down pretty much, but it's more, I'm thinking more like the editing side. And that's something I know nothing about. And to be honest, breaking news alert here. There should be a short video coming out either tonight or first thing in the morning. My first one. So my first thing that I actually had to edit and create. And it's just a short one, but it's my virgin attempt at it. And I hope it goes over well.
That's awesome.
So you heard it here
Tom.
first.
You heard it right here.
So I hope it goes well. I hope everybody likes it.
Real Deal Podcast. You heard it here first.
Hey, since you said it, can I show you something?
Sure.
Let me get it on the screen here.
Oh, hold on.
Hey.
Check it out. How many mugs do you
There
have
it is.
now?
That's the fourth. This is number 22.
Wow.
Number 22.
All right. Stand to be proud.
And that is, that's the topic of the video that's being released is my mug collection. So there'd be a video with a little bit of an intro and then, displaying all the mugs in my collection. And hopefully everybody will like it. They'll give it some thumbs up.
People are going to support
Michelle's,
you no matter what, man.
I appreciate it. I hope so. Yeah, Michelle's kind of a little bit annoyed at my collection because it's taken over the regular coffee mugs, and we've had to move. I've had literally boxed up some of the mugs that she has in the to make room for all of mine. And I think I mentioned it to you before in talking, but I try to match the mug with the day of the week. Like for Sunday, that's stand day, so it's my stand day mug. And Kevin, you were on Sunday nights, so before he was doing stand day, so I was using the Palmetto Cup on Sundays. Prior to that, and it's like some days where people overlap, so I have to rotate them. But then there's other days of the week. It's like, why doesn't anybody have a mug on that night? And so this is going to be the Tuesday mug for the podcast. So, so now that checks that off.
Awesome.
And I do have my John and Dana mug, but they go whenever, so they don't have a set day.
No, you were my first customer.
That's awesome.
I think Tom was a lot of people's first customer. Tom has always been very, very supportive. Very, very supportive.
Yeah.
I'm going to address this right. So we don't drop links unless it's they're up on panel. So I'm trying to make sure that or unless somebody asked me to drop their link, we kind of want to make our guests feel special about that. But if you want your link dropped, just let us know, and the moderators that I have will definitely do that for you. Awesome. Well, here we go. We got a sticker giveaway, y'all. I wish I had all of them right here, but Mike, if you're okay with it, let's give away a Real Deal Fishing Podcast sticker. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
And
let's do it.
Again, all of our Boom Squad members, you'll get one of these. So Tom and John are both Boom Squad members, so we're going to get you one of these.
Yeah.
We're going to hold out shipping them until after Catfish Conference, so we can make sure we save shipping on those. But definitely we'll get those out. Right. And we also have the holographic Real Deal Podcast stickers. So we'll do that. So we've had, very shiny. So we had that up there. Let's see, put this back up. All right, only 36. So y'all got great odds to win. Here we go. Some Old Man Outdoors. I've never seen that channel. Have y'all?
Never seen it before either.
Mm-hmm. Well, there he is. He just entered right there at the last minute and won. So congratulations, Some Old Man. My email, I'll put that in the chat right now so that you can send me your address and I will get that sticker out to you. Awesome. Shiny sits on my island. What does that mean, Tom?
That's her big KitchenAid mixer, Shiny. That's what she calls it.
Okay.
The big one is Shiny, and she has a smaller one that's Goldie. So.
Awesome. Well, Mike, I've had an awesome night, man. I think we'll do one of these. Maybe. What do you think about once a month? Where we'll do a live podcast on the channel just to drum up some more interest. You cool with that?
If there's been 80-some, 70-some people inside the chat for this long, and I haven't even started talking about bologna or bacon, I think this is a great idea. Once we start talking about bologna and bacon, we might triple these numbers.
Oh man!
And look at these two gentlemen that came on to add to the conversation. Can't ask for anything more than that. Yeah. Lauren woke up, came downstairs, zombified, but here she is.
She looks zombie-ish right now. But yeah, so just to recap,
upset, Kevin, she wants stickers. You showed stickers. She's a kid. She wants stickers. I told her I'd get them at the end of the month when I see you.
Yeah, Lauren, your daddy will come home with so many stickers you won't know what to do with them.
We'll get them.
You'll be able to put stickers all over the truck and the car and your fishing rods and everything.
I got to get some stickers. When we went to CatCon Kansas City, I only came back with a couple. So
and we'll send you some too.
Well, there's going to be so many YouTubers at CatCon in Louisville. I'm imagining there's going to be tons of stickers there.
Yep, I hope so.
But yeah, so just to recap, Mike and I do a podcast. It's the Real Deal Fishing Podcast, and that's kind of what this is tonight. We decided to come on tonight just to kind of promote it a little bit. We do this every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we record live. And you have to be a Boom Squad member to be able to come in and record live with us, where you can ask questions and add to the conversation. We'll even bring Boom Squad members up sometimes. But if you're interested in that, it's no requirement because you can listen for free on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch the recording of it on our YouTube channel, the Real Deal Fishing Podcast YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Go check that out. But if you want to join the Boom Squad, there's a link in the description. You can join. Every little bit helps. But if not, if you just want to look forward to this once a month thing, then that's okay too. I appreciate every single one of you, and I know I speak for Mike as well. Last words, Mr. John, any last words?
No, I just appreciate you giving me the invite and having me up. Look forward to and I'm in every I haven't never missed a podcast, but I don't always chat because it's just not always easy. but
There's
I'm
nothing
always
wrong with
there.
that.
I've watched every one of them. So I appreciate it. Appreciate Tom and Michael and Kevin.
And tell Lauren we'll send her some stickers.
And Dana said, tell Lauren we'll bring some stickers to CatCon, or if we don't go, we'll send her some.
She's zombified. She's a. Did someone say bacon? How about you, Tom?
Like I said, I'm going to have my first video drop in here shortly. My computer's kind of slow, and so it depends upon how long it's going to take to upload it, whether it's going to be tonight or in the morning. And I have something else coming midweek, and I'm not going to divulge that just yet, but something new and exciting for me. So that will hit the airwaves maybe Wednesday night during the show, if it gets here in time. And if not, as soon as I can get a chance, and looking forward to that. And that's it from here. Just trying to get out. I'm going to try to get out and do a little bit of fishing tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be live or not.
Gotcha. How about you, Mike and Lauren?
Well, I think Lauren's interested in watching some late night television here once we sign off. And that might perk up her interest a little bit. The dog's over here snoring.
Like my dad.
Here pretty soon, though, I'm just going to continue trying to organize some gear. I got some reels I need to get the old grease out of them, get them going. I literally stopped counting how many reels and rods that I was trying to arrange today. And yeah, I don't know. I wish more people were into spinning gear, because trust me, if you're into spinning gear, I'm your guy. But round reels hate me. Everybody, I say it all the time. Round reels hate me. So but yeah, no, just continuing to clean up, wait for the ice to melt.
Thaw.
This week's report was that one of my favorite lakes here, 25 minutes north of my house, has 15 inches of ice. And we're still hitting some negative numbers and temperatures during the evenings. And we've had some negative days where it never went positive at all. And so that ice is going to be there for a while. So CatCon will be a very welcome vacation to go check out some fun stuff. And usually I try to get out in March, and I got a lot more warm gear this year. So as soon as that ice goes away, I'm going to go get those ice out cats.
Awesome. Well, last thing for me is just that, I'm looking forward to CatCon and meeting a lot of people, and the Golden Whiskers will be there. I got my suit. It's very bright, and it'll remind you of stained glass windows. That's all I got to say about that. But I'm looking forward to being there. I'll have some Palmetto Cats gear there. If anybody's interested in it, I'll bring stickers. Both I almost said no real loss again. The real
did.
and the Palmetto Cats gear. But yeah, we'll have that. And y'all, if you can, Friday night before you go out to dinner at CatCon, if you're coming, please come by the Golden Whiskers. We got Miss Dana Parker is nominated for Spouse of the Year. So we got that one, and come see if she wins it. Come see. But anyway, I'll have the awards there, and I'm trying to edit this thing so it can be as fun as possible. Also, I'll be dropping a video on Tuesday night. It's called I gave these catfish the silent treatment, and it worked. It's inspired by Steve Douglas. So I hope you'll come check that out. I'll be putting it on a premiere. It seems to be a popular thing nowadays. People like to come in for the premieres. So come in and hang out with us. That'll be at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. And then again at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have the Real Deal Fishing Podcast for our Boom Squad members. But that being said, I think that's about it. My eyes are getting heavy, and I got church in the morning, so I'm going to pray us out, and we're going to get out of here. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for these people that have come into the podcast. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share our love for fishing and food, as it turns out, to the community. And Lord, I thank you for John and Tom and Mike and their hearts and their support, Lord. And Mike and I just love doing this thing, and I just thank you for blessing it, and thank you for all your blessings that have come through the channel and much, much more. And we give you all the credit and the honor. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
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 All right, everybody. Well, you know the deal. Till next time, happy fishing.
See y'all later.